Kahori Harukawa on twitch.tv/homo2093 is brought to you by the Okami Roho Free Company of Coeurl, the pack that's got your back. The Misadventures is next broadcast live at 3 over 19 countries and territories around the world on twitch.tv/homo2093 and the designated non-spoiler stream. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. You're tuned in to the Misadventures of Kahori Harukawa on twitch.tv/homo2093, Facebook, YouTube, and Steam D Live. This is a designated live stream in honor of the people of Ukraine, brought to you by the Okami Roho Free Company of Coeurl, the pack that's got your back. My name is Ponga Boy Pongatoy, the gift that keeps on giving. This is day 10 of Endwalking with you here on twitch.tv/homo2093. Once again, this is in honor of the people of Ukraine who are going through a terrible time right now. As you can see, Bay is in her blue and gold colors. So for those of you who are in Ukraine or in Poland right now, tune into this broadcast on twitch.tv/homo2093. This is dedicated to you. Stay strong. Keep the faith. We got you. We're on your side. So, let's get started. In this episode, there will be no playthrough of any content. This is basically just cutscenes. In this episode, we're going to be doing a narration of some of the role quests for Tank, Healer, and DPS from Endwalker. We had just completed the Tank quest line, which means we will be able to run through all the cutscenes, and Kahori ran through this as a Gunbreaker, so she is currently in her Gunbreaker gear, and she'll be going through the Tank quest line. So we're going to start with Tank, then Healer, and then the DPS role quest cutscene. So this is going to be a very short live stream. Originally this Saturday we were going to do a hosting of Work to Games memorial service for Rock Druid, who passed away earlier this week due to cancer. However, that service is going to be next Saturday, and twitch.tv/homo2093 will be hosting Work to Games broadcast of that event. Georgette Lemaire will be attending that on behalf of the Misadventures team and the Free Company of Genova. So, Without further ado, thank you very much, by the way, to those who have followed and have rated and have followed this live stream. We appreciate all that you do. We're going to go ahead and get started here with the role quests. These are the role quests. We've already showed the ones from Shadowbringers. So now we are going to go ahead and do everything from Endwalker, and there are a number of cutscenes. I'll be doing narration for this, so you'll get to hear my rather dubious narrating voice. So let's go ahead and get started with the role quest chain that we had just finished off stream. Start with tank role quest. Focus region is Gridania and the Black Shroud. Enjoy.
Let us through, damn you! We're standing here with the creeping death nips at our heels. You're telling us to die! The Ostrom is false. The ELCC herself sent word that the creeping death is not responsible for the recent incidents. You mustn't surrender to panic. Return to your homes while we deal with the threats, paying no heed to baseless stories. Stories? Stories? I've seen the dead with my own eyes. Don't tell me what is and isn't true.
Hearken to me, my friends. I come before you now to assure you that the creeping death has not returned. Only those who have been wounded by Glypnir are in danger, so I beseech you to take shelter in your homes until the threat has passed.
Glypnir? The beast I saw in the wood. We have to run. It could have followed us. You saw him? Where? Not far from here. Those glistening horns, those terrible chains, reaching out to drag you down to the seventh hell. We ran and ran and never looked back. But don't worry, it didn't catch any of us. No one's marked. See? That means we're safe, right?
But let's say we weren't quite fast enough. What then? Its horns and claws are where the poison resides, and even a scratch would be cause for concern.
Even a little scratch. Then instead of me, is that when my body feels like it's on fire? You told me the process stood you up. You said that's how it happened. You said.
O heavenly winds, guide us to the font of strength. May we drink from it and be made whole.
I don't feel any better. Do it again. Do it again. It hurts. Help me.
Future is now picked. There be no mistake. This is Glypnir's doing. No, I ask that you do not lose heart. Stay strong, quick. Surrender to fear. The beast has already won.
I don't want to die. Please, help me. Get back! You said it wasn't. Why? Why? Liars! Liars! All of you! None of us live! None of us will!
Despair may manifest. To repent, is there not that can be done with these poor souls?
one thing, I know. We must lay them to rest. Contain the threats. All work is done, then. The loss of so many brave souls is tragic, but now they are at peace and the garden tree safe. Let us take comfort in that. But pray that the Great One will hear my plea.
Elder Seedsir, are you hurt?
The Great One is filled with fear, all-consuming fear unlike any I have ever felt. Spoke to me angels were chosen. Drive the evil away. Drive the evil away. We will not think of else, and so we will not receive the aid we seek until we can dispel the dread that claws at the forest's very heart.
No, this was our last hope.
We are not alone. Spake, this profane beast, the blasphemy that has marred the 12th one despair. Glipnir! Stay back! It's with the guardian tree. We must stop it. Poison! You mustn't let it touch you! In accordance with our covenant, we Pajal have been blessed with the elementals. From the moment we are chosen, we are bound to act as mediators between man and nature. The most skilled among us are honored as seedseers, and it is their duty to guide Gridania through times both poor and prosperous. And say which of you will be found more worthy? In my estimation, you both have the potential to become seedseers, but that have become more certain by the day. But I don't want to be a seedseer. I never want to be a Bajal either. I never asked for any of this. Why can't I live a normal life like everyone else? How come I don't get to grow old? Why was I cursed with these ugly horns? I like them, and maybe we didn't choose to be born this way, but I don't think it makes us that different from everyone else. It's a rare gift, a blessing even, and if we can use it to help others, then we should. Don't give up on becoming a seed seer, Connie. We'd all be worse for it. A blessing? I never thought of it that way. I just hated not having a choice. Maybe you're right. May I abide ever beneath your boughs and face with your compassion, grace, and wisdom. You seal the pure within your heart, and know that I am your faithful servant. The fee of feeling, passing corruption, refreshed, renewed green, flesh restored, child of child, covenant all earned, friend, friendship, peace.
It worked. The Great One speaks through the Elder Seer. You're right to follow Joran's example.
We beseech your help to say Glipnir. Friendly spawn, spares offering, sadness and anger, sadness, death's prayer, one at home. Impotent, wounds unmending, think bark, no strength to share.
After all we've done, you deny us. After all the Edith Seed has endured, she's pledged herself to you, devoted her life to the Tollswood. The people cried out for salvation, and she answered. The elementals cried out for deliverance, and she answered. Only you can help us now. If you do not, then we are lost. She is lost. Please, I beg you.
We beg you.
What are you doing here?
We've been depending on the Caesars all our lives, doing them whenever something goes wrong without even considering what we might do ourselves. But no longer. The Elder Caesar has gone to incredible lengths for our people, so our people will come to return the favor. If our plea alone is not convincing enough, then we will raise our voices in support.
We couldn't let them make the journey without protection. That and we couldn't let us put us to shame. We too have come to stand with the Elder Caesar and beseech the Great One for aid.
We all want the same thing, don't we? Peace restored to the poor, so please, share what you can, however little. Do not forsake us. Do not forsake her. Honey, Covenant's child, walks with man, with elemental. keep of ancient faith unbroken. Will not break faith to man render of flesh. Then you agree to help us? Flesh branches taken join to oldest others, renewed bond as one stir. Rise up to heaven's covenant symbol, our staff will join, all bloom, all peace. My duty weighed heavy on my heart, so heavy that times I scarce remember to breathe, but days and nights are where that I would be found wanting. By your faith and trust that the path forward had been revealed to us, we came hither united in purpose and bear your heart's perfect upon it. Aye, nay, Britannia, spare when you dead. Can I rely on you once more? Could you take these branches to every corner of the 12th wood, join them to the eldest trees, that we might finally win free of this despair? Shall be done at the seats here. We swear it. Once the trees have been brought together in spiritual care, the Great One's final instruction casts its cleansing power across the Toastwood. Mind you, my friends, the cleverness still stalks the forest. Will not remain idle, attempt to stop us. Go with hope. Your hearts, but do not lose sight of the danger. Branches of the guardian tree, Toastwood is become as one. To meet the ermine hedge, every elm these sacred lands be imbued with the Great One's nourishing ether, the forest will be empowered to heal itself, to break free of Gleipnir's despair. The ceremony is complex and delicate. I must maintain focus. Just to do what is necessary to see that I am not interrupted. Gleipnir comes! Defend the eldest seats here! The elementals are deserving your scorn. Do you hear me too, for my horns? I know a boy once, who with gifts, symbols of the blessings he resolved to share with the world. The beast before me now brings not but misery and death, which is victims to chains to bind and condemn, to share in its suffering. I was not here for you then, but I'm here for you now, to unmake what you have become. To begin the ceremony, stand fast and remember what we fight for. soul in azure skies, may compassion flow and swell to banish the darkness. Receding terror, blissful quiet. The saint, covenant preserved, now and always, child of child. Honor and gratitude unending. We as well, honor and gratitude unending. We could not have overcome the blasphemy without your aid. Rest in grace, may you continue to guide we children of the forest. Your boundless mercy, pray you forgive the lost, forsaken, who succumb to despair. To you, my dear Asura, I shall never forget your words of wisdom. Ours is indeed a gift and a blessing. Indeed, you are people I will uphold. To my final breath, this I swear. The red one's ether flows throughout the trailswood, purging the last vestiges of the luminous poison. The surviving wounded are no longer in despair, and gone to recover at long last. We have much cause to rejoice, in no small part because of you, my friend. On behalf of Gridania and myself, allow me to thank you yet again for your tireless efforts in bringing Gluttony to heal.
You went above and beyond the call of duty for the sake of our people in their homeland. You're inspiring to behold, not for the first time, I might say.
Forgive me, Elder Caesar, but with this crisis behind us, I would suggest a new course of action. Oh, and what would that be? Rest. In all our time together, and I've seen you so hard pressed. Surely your worry could benefit from a big respite. I appreciate your concern, my friend, but I cannot, will not. One day, perhaps, but not this day.
But Elder Caesar...
Recent events have given me cause to reflect upon my past, on lessons that I once thought I had taken to heart. When I did not understand the duty which I had been entrusted, these haunts of mine were but chains binding me to a destiny I did not choose. It was the Asura who taught me to appreciate the gift I had been given. Had he not been there to help me keep to the proper path, where would my errant feet have taken me instead? He was perhaps the first, but he would not be the last. My brother and sister and countless of the kind souls, with their words and support, have also helped me to continue to find a way forward, even when I thought that there was none. So by opening our hearts to one another, we, in turn, open new paths, concern of greater opportunities, brighter futures. All who live within Britannia deserving these gifts, so I must always be there for them, together we may journey in safety through the darkest night. Not tempted to live wild and free like an adventurer? It's not without its appeal. Recalling the few occasions I've traveled beyond, our time together in churning mist left a lasting impression. Did I ever come a time when I need no longer serve as elder seed, sir? I should like very much to accompany you on another adventure. Regardless of what the future has in store, my present course is clear. So long as we Bajal serve as the bridge between man and elemental, Britannia can weather any storm. So I will continue to walk hand in hand with my people and my patrons along the path that we discover together. We're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we continue, we're going to go ahead and now move over to the healer quests. This is Day 10 of Endwalking with You. Final Fantasy XIV Patch 6.0 quests on twitch.tv/homohomo2093. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And we're back. Day 10 of Endwalking with You on twitch.tv/homohomo2093. We're now gonna move on to the healer role quests. Enjoy. It's about one of the men who turned. I saw his memories.
With the echo, I promise I understand it, but tell us what you learned.
I only got a glimpse, but that was enough. It's during the occupation, a man raising a son. Only the two of them, but they were a family to keep his boy clothed and fed. He chose to side with the Empire. He knew what others would say, but he did it anyway. And so he was branded a traitor. Every day his son listened to the jeering, the insults, but there's nothing he could do. When he came of age, he joined the Skulls and hoped to make life easier for his father. He never dared to question his orders, no matter how depraved. Died in the revolution, but not for killing his own countrymen. His father wept not for the betrayer and murderer, but the man he could have been. He blamed it all on himself, right up until the change took him.
I can only pray he and his boy have finally found the peace they have denied in life. Alas, theirs is an all too familiar tale. They cannot forgive themselves, nor can they see how anyone else could.
The sins of their kin weigh heavy on them. They think themselves undeserving of our compassion. If they carry on like that, they'll turn into beasts. We've got to help them before it's too late. Growing up half Garland and Alamigo, I know how it feels to be shunned and hated. To hate myself. So long as we give ourselves and others a chance, we can change for the better. While a man and be as clever or eloquent as someone like Alphino, I know I can make a difference. I may not be quite the swordsman I used to be, but I'm still a fighter at heart. I want to Alba and Ollie to make most of this life, so long as I've got it. We Silver Griffins will give her all to see that no more beasts or blasphemies ravage Girabani again. So, Commander Alden, do we have your approval to continue our work?
Of course, there's no enemy more formidable than despair. I'd be a fool to refuse your help. Every single one of our people has come to this transformation is proof of our failure to protect them. Therefore, I pledge to the Silver Griffins make unconditional support. Together, we will prevail. We have Kahori on hand to aid the troops. I believe we are ready to face any beast we encounter. Though I fear it's only a matter of time for others to appear, I ask that you lend the Silver Griffins your assistance in the meantime. Now, let's return to the city.
Thanks to two of you, the missing villagers have finally been laid to rest. I and the other Silver Griffins will redouble our efforts to prevent any further tragedies. I've finished taking the worst, sir. Everything's in order. Good work. Take a rest, lad. You've more than earned it. You just yourselves, but ever since your brother was a member of the Crania Lupi, he is exactly the sort of person we're trying to help. Maybe the others, he was reluctant to talk to us first, but after we gained his trust, we were able to help him find work. He's sticking to it well.
Sir, the butcher! Traitors, all of us, consider us deserving of ancient death. Ancient death!
Get back! Get back!
Stay away from her.
Rodola saved your girl's life.
I know, but she's...
It happened in an instant. That poor lad. But it had to be done, and without hesitation. It would have been much worse otherwise. Would you go out to Rodola and see to her once? I'll do what I can here. Girl can change its spots. There's no washing the blood off my hands. Nor would I, even if I could. Thinking of Garland Steel was the first choice, but not the last. The first skill, the hardest. Every choice after that came easier and easier, till I stopped counting, stopped caring. Do tell yourself it's right, it's for the greater good. You give the order, feel the ground tremble as a cannon fires. When the dust settles and your own men are buried beneath the rubble, you tell yourself.
You tell yourself.
Me too.
You mustn't give in.
That man in the village. I saw his past. I'm the one who killed his brother. I'll be all right. I need just a moment. Can you wait with me? So while we all agree upon the importance of the air money, we recognize that the inclusion of the cranial loopy will be distressing for many. I too lost family at their hands, and would never ask others to forgive and forget. But for all the crimes, they were Alamegans just like us. None made the decision to side with Garlemald lightly.
They had a choice, and they chose to betray us.
Be among us and make different choices, forgive them, kin. And do not forget that Rodola chose to stand between us and the primal. What does that have to do with it?
Brothers and sisters, arguing will avail us not. Bid Valamiga rest on my shoulders and yours, on those of every man, woman, and child that calls these lands home. Bold our honor, to strive for prosperity, to protect our loved ones. We all know the weight of these responsibilities. Just the self-same way which we have made of our people to serve our oppressors, misguided as it was. Though they chose a different, unconscionable path, in the end, we all wanted the same thing: to deliver our families from persecution, that they might live to see one more day. Because another day in shame and self-hatred was still better than none at all. The regretful dead are survived by their despair. A despair which threatens to drag us all into an abyss where there is no escape, though there surely will. Welcome into our hearts out of disdain for those we cannot forgive. We all Amigans will not be so easily defeated. We will stand united and conquer this menace.
Every other Amigan who fought and died did so in the hopes that one day we would be free. And we are free. We are free. By the blood of our fallen brothers and sisters, we are free. We lock away the pain and pretend that it has no power over us. It infests us and takes us in our beds. We lay bare, let it breathe. With knowledge to mourn our people at their best and their worst. Passes us to bear, all of it, for ourselves and for future generations, so that they didn't need to suffer like we did. Let us make El Amigo a nation where no man is left behind, where he can make all the wrong choices and still be afforded the chance to make a right one. Hold the line for as long as you can. Commander Alden, the Word Led, will be here any moment. Stay strong.
You've done well. Leave the rest to us.
Yes, sir. Get the injured to safety.
Coward. Them, everyone.
I wish there was another way.
So do I, but fighting's the only thing I'm any good at. Makes me wonder how I ended up with such a clever brother.
Too clever for my own good, maybe. Just the thought of going into battle.
What getting hurt? What having to hurt other people?
He's a bleeding heart, a Charlie. Sooner befriend a fly than shoo it away, much less kill it. No, well, I could kill if I wanted. I could. But you don't, and there's no shame in that. Leave the soldiering to us, Charlotte. We'll show the Guardians what we're capable of, and the power and respect we deserve. And then, things will change. They will. You'll see. We found a place for ourselves, and you'll find yours soon enough. Alright, that'll do. Everyone who's enlisting, meet back here tomorrow.
Good did I do? They gave everything they had to give while I hid, like a rat waiting for the storm to pass. Coward! 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 better dead. Better forgotten.
It's not your fault, Chalet. It's not. We didn't do anything wrong. And I'm the coward, the traitor, the butcher. I'll always be the butcher. Don't you dare, Vardola! You don't get to end it. You don't get to give up. I won't let you. You have a lifetime to make amends and atone, to become something more than you were. But if you die here, you're everything they say, everything you believe. Is that what you want?
She's not going anywhere.
Arnvald, why are you here?
There's nowhere else I'd rather be. I can't fight by your side, but I can still cheer you on. I've seen your past, Charlet. You were left behind while your friends rushed into battle. It's bloody hard, isn't it? Wanting to do something so desperately that before your being, knowing that you should be able to, you should, but you can't. So you find another way to support them. Your way. You did that too, didn't you? You were there for them, even if they didn't feel like it. But you were, Charlotte. You were. As a friend of mine once said, not all heroes are forged in the fires of battle. The history of Amigo is written in blood. We cannot change the past, we can change the future. And for that, we must play our part, all of us.
You too, Vardola. Astrid, Emlyn, one day we'll be together again, but not yet.
You never hurt anyone, Charlet. That's not who you are. Remember the kind soul you always were.
I'm counting on you. Thank you. I mean it. I've been looking everywhere for you.
Have you now? We'll be right back. We're back with Miss Pictures of Kari Harukawa on twitch.tv/homohomo2093. Brought to you by the Akami Roho Free Company Pro, the pack that's got your back. This is day 10 of Endwalking with you. We're continuing on with cutscenes from the role quest for patch 6.0. We're now heading to the DPS. There's 3 sets of DPS role quest series. We're going to start with melee DPS. Enjoy. Thank you for joining us here, Master Dao.
The air here sickens me.
Aye, let us get straight to the heart of the matter. Human threat looms before us, one more powerful than any primal, with the potential to bring death without end to both Sahagin and Lamenzen alike. These circumstances call for swift and united action. You doubt our intentions, but remind you that we have liberated many of your kin from Leviathan's enthrallment. The encounters of Sahagin have joined us of their own free will, that we may ensure the survival of both our peoples.
Aye, by the deeds of Leviathan's prove themselves worthy of our trust.
Master Dao, you and your crushing tide want only to secure a future for your people. I say to you, this can only be done by confronting this threat together.
Threats. What is this threat you speak of? It is unity you crave, then submit yourself to our command. Be as the Serpent Reavers. These are the only shore rockers I deign to call friend. You would ask us to willingly surrender ourselves to your Lord of the World. I do, for that, and that alone will ensure peace between us. It's preposterous. Your proposed not alliance but servitude. This way lies nothing but death, but also Hagen. Do you hear this, my spawn brothers? The showwalkers have stolen this one's mind. He decries Lord Leviathan and expresses the lunacy of our sworn foes. These treacherous wretches have abandoned our guard and conspired to drive we faithful for our ancestral home. We cannot, we must not let this stand. So say, seek us, sworn brothers. They side with the friendless ones and blaspheme our Lord Leviathan. These steal us body crowds and slaughter our children. Our future, our future! Stir, behold this blessing. Lord Leviathan grants us greater and greater strength. You would call this a blessing? Such horrors! Flee for your lives! Ah, sus. The beast makes for airport. I leave this place to you. Splendid. All our spawn brothers be blessed with such power. We meet again, Tao. Where's the blasphemy? Tell us now so that we may end this madness.
Speak of the bloody devil.
There it is, the dread beast I saw beneath the waves. Source of our woes. The echo of all the times.
Defend the commander!
I bring grave tidings, my queen. The wretched shorewalkers poison the minds of my spawn brothers with false words and foul magics. Our poor beguiled brethren renounce Lord Leviathan and name him a false god. They treat with limbs and lamenza, and some even call for an alliance. We must summon him, that us may receive of his blessing anew. This I would gladly do, had our stock of crystals not run dry. Spawning time is nearly upon us. You fighting bigger amongst yourselves. I might with a new brood when my children go stand divided. Who dares enter the sacred chamber? Okay, my intrusion, Queen Mother. I speak with the Hagen who's taking a call with the show walkers. A new age is upon us. We return to false cause, no torment, bitterness, and bloodshed, now precious spawning grounds. The Soulwalkers have changed. They need to understand us, to share these earth with us, that they may have peace, and we are spawning grounds. Could this be true? Lies, lies. Do not be deceived by that one's delusions, my queen. We as a heathen was strayed from Lord Leviathan's light. The Soulwalkers are Oathbreakers, now and forevermore. Extend one hand in friendship, take a attack of the other. We are beasts in their eyes, deserving are not but slaughter. Oh, more blessed moment, I felt the faintest touch of hope. Be all right now. They're demons. We are damned. Oh, for woe. My poor children have lost their faith. Their minds poisoned by lies. They turn away from the Lord of the world and cast their lot with the enemy. It is so, my queen, it is so. We have no choice but to abandon our sacred spawning grounds, sink to the ocean's floor to rot and decay. Now, dearest of my children, you tell them that we have no future. How can I bring new life to this world when my blood will have their hearts stolen and abandoned me? How can I bear this unbearable sadness? Ugh, I cannot! What's happening? Please, my queen, you must calm yourself. Such power, such beauty, a blessing from Lord Leviathan himself.
This is a blaster, eh? I can see what all the fuss was about.
Be wits about you? Good. If you can fight, now's the time. Strike now, my queen. Send the Shorewalkers, their honorless leader, to her death. What's happening? I can't feel my legs. Why, Mother? Are we not your children too? Damn it! We gotta weather another blow like the last.
Still don't know when the 7 Elsers happened, but I'll be damned if I'm going to go down without a fight. Freddy, the beast is feeding on ether. Will not survive a head-on fight. Lionel, Ward, remember the company's stratagem when faced with overwhelming odds. Retreat, retreat! Let's get ourselves some bloody hells out of here.
Tao, what's left of him.
Speaker Tao, why would our queen do such a thing?
It is as the Shogun say. We thought his blessing is in truth a terrible curse. It's the horror. We must away at once.
And leave the Soulwalkers to face our queen brother alone? No, I will stand with them. You must sully your hands with the blood of your mother. Go and be with your kin. Go!
Forgive me.
I was beginning to think you wandered off a cliff, Lawrence. But you say it like that? For the thing of myself is fashionably late. But enough talk. It comes. I will not ask your forgiveness, but this I promise. You will be remembered for the mother you were.
Admiral, I have no words. Our Queen Mother returns to the depths in eternal slumber. With our strength, you could have crushed us easily. Why did you spare our lives?
The beasts and blasphemies are born from the despair in our hearts, but no more. I would break the cycle. Though Dao may have been blind to it, I believe in a future where Sahagin and Laminsen live in harmony. When the losing who she was, your queen made for your spawning grounds. It is there she drew her last breath. Your next queen is crowned. Know that you have a safe place to raise her young. Once you've selected a suitable location, Limzel and Linza will recognize and honor your claim.
Promise which we're grateful, Admiral. What of the other pupils of Billbrand?
The kobolds are open to the idea. The details will need to be negotiated, but I am confident we can reach an agreement. Sahagin, Kobold, and the Minzen alike yearn to abide in peace. We can make it so.
I have never fought alongside Shogun before, but I must say, it felt good. We have fought our neighbors for generations. One has only suffering and tragedy. I beg of you, lay down your spears.
It'll take time and effort to bridge the gulf between our peoples, but bridge it we shall.
I dare say we have a lot of talking to do as well, don't we, Commander Lawrence? Oh, Landon, you just allow me to explain. Let's be off before they drag us into this mess. We'll take a break, and then we're going to go ahead and move on to the next set of DPS quests on Homo 2093. We'll be back. Back with the misadventures of Kahori Harukawa on twitch.tv/homo2093. We continue on with our DPS role quest. It's time for physical ranged.
Oh, spirits of Isari, beseech you, lend me a voice, let your presence be known. Cross the veil and be among us once more. Akitsu.
Father?
Still tending the nets, like I taught you.
Yes, Father, every day. Thanks to you, we never want for fish. Our bellies are never empty. I am proud to be your son. I was always too embarrassed to tell you before, but...
And I am proud to have been your father. May you ever be blessed with the sea's bounty. It hurts.
Father, what's wrong?
He is in terrible pain, my child. Those who cheated death's design yet live. It has disrupted the natural order, and the spirits suffer for it.
What must we do to ease their pain?
Fear not, Izanami shall put all to rights. She will claim the souls not long for this world and will deliver them unto the hereafter. When our work is finished, your father's spirit and all the others will find peace. father? Can you help me speak with him? Kise, can you come meet my husband?
What about my family? Help me, Kise, please.
So here, the kami, she appeared as if from nowhere, and the next is that this poor man was...
So we were too late. Was he one of the villagers in the prisoner exchange? You recognize him then? It appears that he and the blasphemy's first victim were former conscripts. What could the fiend be after, I wonder? It should not become my lord to speak ill of the kami.
I understand you come to investigate the rumors of a monster born in our village. A blasphemy, call it. But you are sorely mistaken. My stepdaughter, Minato, was chosen to serve as a vessel for Izanami. I witnessed her ascension with my very own eyes. Minato, please! I can't. I won't. There's no logic in it. No justice. The Witch of Doma spared, given a second chance, and my husband, condemned to die as a conscript. I'll never know what became of him, but he can give me even that. And when I look at the families he made whole at their happiness, I feel the hole in my heart, the gaping wound that will never heal, begin to bleed. Only on my love's side will I find peace. Your son who's fate, Minato. All will be well. Trust in the kami, in Izanami. Want to believe, but Izanami's come to bring peace to the souls of the departed, to restore balance between their world and ours. Surely you will not dare defy the will of the kami.
This balance you speak of has claimed the lives of two innocents, but recently returned to us. I will not accept that the kami would condone such cruelty.
No crueler than the sight of Yotsu free and forgiven, while my husband and son fought Galamon's wars, now dead and forgotten in a foreign land. With all due respect, Lord, it is not your duty to protect Doma and our people. How are we to place our faith in the man who places the enemy's safety and well-being above that of his own subjects? Only the kami are deserving of our adoration, as they have always been. speed. I doubt even my falcons could keep pace with it.
Bah, don't tell me that's the blasphemy flying off into the distance.
I hope the will it brought me in life might compel the beast to stay and fight, less of Minato remains than I thought. Minato? That monstrosity was Minato!
Mm-hmm. You knew her. Her family tried to flee to Hingashi during the occupation, but their ship was raided and sunk.
We have it upon the record she was huddled between her parents on a piece of flotsam, desperate to keep warm, but had long since grown cold. We took her to Onokoro where we nursed her back to health. Couldn't imagine what horror she must have witnessed.
The mere sight of our weapons was enough to make her start screaming. She was clearly unfit for our trade, so we sought a village that might take her in. Isari was that village. Several months later, I chanced to meet her on this very beach. She was in the company of a young Ori fisherman, and I knew at once she had found more than a home there. So many times after that, she found something comforting about this place, I think. According to reports from Rats at hand, the memories and desires of those who can turn and influence their behavior as blasphemies. That perhaps Minato's memories would compel the beast to come here. That would also explain its timid nature. Minato was never one for violence, and the sight of you, blade drawn, no doubt struck what little of the wound remained in the monster. In that case, an assault on the Kinkan is unlikely, guarded as it is by a samurai. But how are we to fight an enemy so quick to flee at the first sight of danger? Robbed of her parents, her husband, and now her life. I'd rather we didn't have to at all. I understand full well the risk we take by doing nothing. If we catch sight of the blasphemy again, you will be the first to know. Perhaps next time we can put her soul to rest. Given what you have learned, it seems likely that the blasphemy will return to Shoal Rock, but that knowledge will avail us not if we cannot prevent it from escaping again.
Lord Hien, on behalf of the people of Isari, we are come with a request.
Welcome with open arms and open hearts. What is it that you would ask of me?
Those returned to us in the prison exchange have been granted shelter at the Kenkan. That they yet live is an affront to the Kami's grand design, and the spirits of our loved ones suffer for it. Balance must needs be restored, and so I beseech you to render them unto the goddess Izanami.
Absolutely not. It is not our place to pray for the death of others, nor draw steel to sate mere bloodlust. When I take a life, be it by command or my own hand, I do so not in service to vengeance, but to uphold my duty to Doma and her people.
How did your merciful Yotsu serve your duty? How are your people made better by the sight of her walking free?
For her crimes and her cruelty, I cut her down the day we took Doma Castle. I sought to kill her, and by rights she should have died then and there. But the Kami willed otherwise, and returned to us alive and bereft of her memories. With no recollection of her deeds, it would have been Tsuyu who faced punishment, not Yotsu. This was my judgment, for you were denied the justice you deserved. You have every right to resent me. But you come before me and ask that I sacrifice men and women whose only crime was to suffer, to be condemned to a life of servitude. If you truly believe your cause to be sacrosanct, believe yourselves fit to bear the burden and swing the sword, then step forward.
Sophistry and lies. They were meant to die. The spirits demand it.
Are these the words of the dead or the living who yet mourn? Word of these sorry pieces and the gifts has spread far and wide. I thought to see the truth of it myself. By coincidence, I crossed paths with the traveler hailing from the self-same village, with a mind to return as well, but alas could not, and so he bade me deliver a missive in his stead. Judging by the striking resemblance, I take it that you are the young fisher Akits.
This is a letter from my father. He was severely wounded in battle, but expects to make a full recovery. He's alive, but that would mean...
Surely, woman, your talents can divine a possible explanation for this turn of events.
You shall pay for this. Come to me. My daughter will make certain of that. Lord Hien, I... apologize, my lord, for my past transgressions. I aim to believe my daughter was the coming reborn, but you're right. She is a monster. Words can ill express my shame for advocating the conscripts be sacrificed to appease the dead. Yea, this ceremony should have far, far better. And so, as a humble citizen of Doma, I offer my deepest gratitude and beg for your forgiveness. I'll make an offering on behalf of my husband and son, as well as my dear stepdaughter Minato. I throw myself on your mercy, Lord Hien. Allow them a place within the mausoleum, that the spirits may know peace. There's no need to beg forgiveness, Kisei. Please, rise. She will come for you. And coming, she gave her life to draw out the blasphemy.
Apologies for the untimely arrival, my lord.
Kusutsu, what is that staff?
Pilgrimage proved the most enlightening experience. If I had a chance to discover the benefits of ascetic training, I may no longer be fit to wield a blade, my lord. Shugendo will be another way to turn the tide of battle.
I shall have to thank you later.
Let's put an end to this.
Deceiver to the bitter end, but she's still a daughter of Doma. She will have a proper burial and her family's belongings enshrined with the others. I have gathered you here today not to speak of the future, but to reflect on the past, to pay respects to loved ones fallen on the field of battle. In honor of the sacrifices, these sons and daughters of Doma shall be given a place here at the Swallow's Compass. Though they no longer walk with us in life, they walk with us in spirit. Pray never forget their bravery. The memories of their legacy give you comfort and strength. Maroya Motokawa, the sparring painter. He was a man who saw beauty in all things. One day would have become a renowned artist in Kugane. Motsutsue Jito, the warrior in training. He longed to become a samurai like his father and bring honor to his family. Sushiro Kodakumi, the carpenter, a man wholly dedicated to his craft who hoped to one day pass on his talents to his two loving children. And lastly, Minato Shihogaki and her stepmother Kisei. Theirs was once a happiness to be envied. Minato's parents were murdered by Imperial soldiers and being rescued by the Confederacy, Minato was given to the care of the village of Isari. Though she arrived with a broken heart, it was soon mended by the man who would become her husband, the son of Kisei, who herself had been born to Isari on winds of tragedy. Kisei was the child of the deep, born in Suinosato. For her gifts she was exiled, but with her courage and tenacity found a new home on the shores of the Ruby Sea. She was a devoted wife and mother, and though not related by blood, she loved Minato as if she were her own. This is how she lived, how they all lived, how they should be remembered. Let your hearts swell not with sorrow, but with joy for their memory. Know that proof of their mark left in this world shall remain here, enshrined within the Swallow's Compass for all eternity. Let us still our voices and in silence pray for their souls. They may share in the peace we have found. And that is physical range TPS. We're gonna go ahead and take one more break, and then on the other side, we're gonna wrap this up with magical range DPS. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. This is the misadventures of Kari Harukawa on twitch.tv/homohomo2093, brought to you by the Akami Free Company of Coeurl. In fact, it's got your back. Day 10 of Endwalking with you. We are now in the final segment. This is Magical Range DPS Role Quest for Endwalker. Enjoy. Phew! Ah, I see you found them. Yes, and on the worstful wire, thank the Fury. My friends, forgive us if we have come in cause for alarm. We come out of concern for your well-being. But we understand why you quit the city. We fear you may have placed yourselves at greater risk by coming here. His Grace Bishop Vatanoir worries for your health and prays for your swift return, so please, do not allow us to escort you to the Holy See. I assure you, you will be much safer there than in this wretched place. Servants of the Fury will never be safe in the city, don't you see? This is your fault. You and your accursed revolution. The people disdain us, mock us behind our backs, and spit in our faces. Now someone is conspiring to transform us into monstrosities. Enemies of the church, I'll wager, emboldened by your deeds. So no, I will not go back to Ishgard. I'd sooner freeze to death than suffer your pity. What? I have done what's in service to her. I'm a good man. I do not. She cannot forsake me. Ah! Alone preserve! Kahori, we cannot allow him to harm any others. Keep chase and do what you must. We will remain here and keep the others calm. Lord Speaker, rest assured I was just about to return to the cathedral.
There's no need, Your Grace. This will not take long. As you may have heard, we are investigating a young man named Vandro. Is he known to you?
No, I cannot say he is. With the exception of the former Archimandrite, I am sure I know no one by that name. But mine, the archbishops, are known to many, yes, perhaps. I was just used to inspiration from public services of which we presided. Who this all that is, who that I am, that his faith doesn't comfort him in sickness. I pray to Halo, and he will soon be found in good health. Now then, if there was nothing else, I shall return to my duties. Fear not, Your Eminence. I shall carry on your legacy.
We have completed the preparations as per your instructions, but are you certain this will work?
It will, it must. Lord Amix spoke the truth when the Archbishop sought primal powers to strengthen the people's faith. I could not bring myself to believe it, not at first, but in the course of cataloguing His Eminence's personal articles, I came upon his journal. Therein he had written that, through abundant ether and fervent prayer, it is possible to make gods of men. Well, the power we require lies in this place, this as is law, by channeling the essential elements into the soulless flesh and sword we found.
We shall summon forth King Thordan and his I-12, and by his blessing Ishgard shall be restored to his former glory.
What is this? It's just an ordinary man, scarcely changed from before. His Eminence, I must protect. Oh, no, this isn't right. Confound it! Perhaps I overlooked something. I must return to the Holy See and review the journal.
No, Grace, what shall we do with this thing?
Leave it to some failure without use or value. This place will deal with this soon enough.
Kahori, are you well? Were you perchance granted a vision of the past? An attempted summoning of King Thordan and its Knights 12. Your Grace, you should know full well that summoning is strictly forbidden. You will accompany us to the congregation and explain yourself. I've dedicated my life to the church, conducted my affairs in accordance with the scriptures, and taught others to do likewise. But you took it all from us, tore down everything that defined us. You cannot know how it feels to have your very existence rejected, to be forsaken by your community, to be denied by your society. Well, I deny you in this instance. I deny in this God with the churches of peace. I refuse to accept it. Do you hear me? I refuse to accept it.
No, Grace! No!
That it should come to violence yet again, or that your hand had not been forced, my lord. Deacon Clem should not be alone at this time. I shall remain with him while tending to the aftermath. When things have settled, I return to the congregation. Pray go on ahead, and get some rest.
But the fury, it's the blasphemy.
Evidence must protect his evidence.
Ah, you're finally awake. Alone be praised. How are you feeling? Strong enough to speak? Can you tell me your name?
My name is Severing. No, Sharbat.
Or was it Willoughby?
So many names swirling in my mind, voices that reject them.
Is there none that will accept? Are you alright?
Vandro. My name is Vandro.
Well, no, that's the same as our infirmary. I dare say fate has guided you to us. So, Vendro, you're feeling a little up to conversation. Can you tell me about yourself
Anything else you remember? Anything at all? About son of Harsamel, about someone alone who lives with Russia battle, pleasure of thinking pain, mission of maintenance, to fight beside my brothers in arms. About more, ready to squab on him ever leaving level lands, but his eminence raised me up, granted me a place at his side. From that day forth, I pledged my sword to his service, pledged my very being, my life to be offered up in defense of his. I am a knight of the HEAVENSWARD, so protect and serve the Archbishop. Oh, you're a knight. Forgive it sounded rude, but I had no idea. And although your memories may be a bit muddled, I'm afraid I must inform you that the HEAVENSWARD have not been seen in quite some time and are now presumed dead, and the Archbishop, well, he is most certainly no longer of this world. But more important things that you'll save now and help you get back on your feet. Speaking of which, let me bring some food and water. You must be absolutely famished. The Archbishop dead? No, this cannot be. How can I still be alive when he's not? I must find him. Kahori! Another vision, I take it. Let's make Wishguard. I expect the Lord Atal will return soon, if he has not already. We should both be glad to hear your tale. Esteemed members of the clergy and honored adherents of the faith, I thank you all for your attendance. In recent days, our nation has been racked by a series of tragedies. Those among us who do Halon's work have been transformed into abominations. This dreadful phenomenon has been brought about by the final days. It's upon our despair and anguish that it feeds. Thus, if we are to prevent further tragedy, we must try to ensure that all Ishgardians, clergymen, and citizens alike abide with peace and love for one another in their hearts. To that end, I have called upon the Ecumenical Council of the present generations, who might together determine a path forward for the Church and our society as a whole. Since antiquity, the Ishgardian Orthodox Church served the people in two respects: as a free spirit to strike the heart of dragonkind, as a free shield to safeguard the souls of men. But now that we are at peace with the Rivanians,
The church need no longer serve as a spear, and so must now reconsider how may it better serve as a shield to our brethren.
I can best report, for that we need accountability. The economic stood with the strength of the minimum, and investigations conducted, trials held. The evidence is sufficiently damning, and then we may turn our attention to their doctrine advice. As the predecessors did before us, we of the Synod have sought to interpret the scriptures best of our ability, and thence conveyed how Halon's will to the people. The spirit pursuit of retribution at the expense of doctrine would come also at the expense of our faith. We want the world to lose our souls. Or Halon, are we outside your grace? This bodes ill. At this rate, someone might turn.
Since the war's end, the church and the faithful have stood at a crossroads, unable to take the next step forward. His Grace Bishop Vartanoir, may he walk in Halon's halls, was one such soul, and his longing for simpler times he resorted to using forbidden magics. He succumbed to despair. In our minds we renounce the lies upon which our nation was built, but in our hearts we yearn for the righteousness, misguided though it was, that gave us comfort and purpose for so long. So let us not forget who we were. Let us confront the mistakes of the past and learn from them. We do not repeat the mistakes of our forefathers. As firmly we believe in our sacred duty, we struggle to accept the church's deception and embrace change. The legacy of Thornton weighs heavy, and there is an temptation to simplify, cast it aside like a mantle that suits us no longer. Yet that would dishonor the sacrifice of those who went before, countless souls who served the people with purest intent. And so, heavy though it may be, let us together bear this burden as we set forth anew. Our friend Kahori risked life and limb to reveal the truth to us. The truth of our legends and our scripture were tainted by betrayal, but not wholly corrupted. The great walls and towering spires of our city may have been built with murder and deception. They rest upon a foundation immutable and true. Our devotion to Halon, we have worshipped since before our forefathers settled these lands. The church is the font of practical wisdom, and its teachings guide us in our daily lives. Such things define our faith no less than the lies. We can acknowledge our sins without renouncing our religion. Aye, and without rejecting who we are. A comprehensive review of scripture as well as historical literature will be necessary. Revisions, as appropriate, must be made to ensure that the truth of our past is preserved for future generations. Your previous knowledge of church doctrine, I dare say none is better suited than leading that effort than you. I also expect that many eyes will be required to pore over all the tomes, and I know that many idle men and women of faith will jump at the chance to do Halon's work once more. That day so very long ago, I had no answer to my father's words.
But it seems the people had it within them all along.
Peace has come. Now's our chance.
Make ready.
To me, my knights. Forgive me, Sir Vantro, but for the sake of all its guardians, we must strike you down.
Finally, it is over. Thus ends the tale of the Heavensward. Let it not be forgotten. It was wrong of them to conceal the truth of our nation's founding, to abet the Archbishop in his machinations. In peering into their hearts, one thing became clear. They too had succumbed to primal manipulation. They too were victims, flawed men, aye, not without sin, but guardians brave and true, as we all aspire to be. Having triumphed the battle of ideals, I have responsibility to all our people, their hopes and dreams, their sorrow, suffering, and mine to bear, and bear them I shall. Yet you not vanquish King Thordan, but I erred in but one of my choices. You may have broken the first to succumb to despair, to be reborn of blasphemy. You wouldn't have turned, not you. Thank you, my friend, for having such confidence in me. My apologies. It was not my intent to wax sentimental.
Our work here is done. Let us return to the congregation.
That concludes Day 10. Endwalking with you, the Final Fantasy XIV
Patch 6.0 quests, those were the role quests for Endwalker. We have run through all of the cutscenes. Our next live stream will be on 14th of March. It will be a playthrough of Little Ladies Day, the FANTASY XIV Hinamatsuri seasonal event. Kahori's daughter, Baby Kahori, is going to be giving you a playthrough of this event. This broadcast is also in honor of the great people of Ukraine who are going through such a tough time right now. Have faith, they will triumph over the forces of evil. If you like what you see in this broadcast, hit the follow button in Twitch player. This will also be archived on the YouTube channel under my IRL name, Joe Ryan Salazar. Hit the subscribe button on that YouTube channel for more content. So on behalf of everyone at the Welcome of Coeurl World, Crystal Day Center, Final Fantasy XIV, this is Punk Boy Punk, the gift that keeps on giving, the husbando of Kahori Harukawa, wishing you, may you ever walk the light and darkness of the crystal. It's bye for now. Good night.